Nuggets of hope. Hope is a walking dream.
I have scars today. I walk with a limp.
Okay.
Transformative, informative,
Everybody has got issues.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But you have to overcome.
and educative. Hope Unleashed episodes, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Only on our YouTube channel.
Wase wapinduru. Let me tell you, whether sasa kwanza watu watanipiga mawe sana. Si hata watu wa church. Ni watu wa huko nje wanasema.
Wanajua wewe unafaa kama fulani.
Wewe ni mse wa church bana, usikamu huku. Huku si kwenu. You know. Not give up. Do not say this is the end when you encounter them. Remember, there are pieces of a bigger jigsaw puzzle
that you need to fix
together. So your challenges are stepping stones to a better person you will become tomorrow. You're working for 20 hours. You're volunteering in church doing media. That is what adds into a story you will tell someday of what God has done.
Very true. Wow. Yes. That's incredible. Very, very, very incredible. That's so touching. And I don't know what's your views on this. Could you please comment regarding what he has just shared? Because it is very, very powerful. And if you want to get more of his stories, you have a YouTube channel, right?
I am now I have never done YouTube.
Okay.
I've been preparing. Now I'm just about to get there. But my YouTube channel is Anthony Ndiema. You can subscribe now, be the first ones.
Okay.
But great content coming in about a month or so.
Okay.
But on social media, you can always find me. On Facebook is Anthony Ndiema.
Okay.
The Anthony has a H. On Instagram is Anton Ndiema. On X is Anton Ndiema. You can always get me on those platforms.
Sawa. Thank you so much. Actually, my director kunifanyia ile kitu ameniongezea time
kiasi. Interesting. That's a good director.
Yes, that's my director is always good.
Nimemuona mahali nikasikia hata mimi pressure. Maliza hiyo kitu haraka, director anataka kukutoa.
I wanted you to say something regarding the AI with the interruption with media. Is it interrupting anything? Is it affecting? Say something on AI.
Yeah, so AI looks like a monster. All right, it looks like a monster that has come to kill us.
Monster.
Let me say this: when we left MW into FM, they said radio is dead.
Okay.
When FM came, when TV came, they said radio is dead. When social media came, they said traditional media is dead. AI has come. And AI is not killing legacy media.
Okay.
So what we need to do is to leverage on AI to help us in doing things better.
Okay.
So AI has come to help us. Let us not be those journalists it's called automated journalism.
Okay.
But let's use the minds God has given us,
even
to input more and see how does AI make things better for us, simplify things better for us, so that we do a better job. So AI is here to help us grow and be better in our trade. Let me say this. A few days ago, I was in a stakeholders forum, and we were doing curriculum development for a master's course called Applied Communication.
Okay.
And the big conversation was AI. What do we do with AI? Yeah? And these are just the initial stages of AI.
Oh.
We haven't seen anything yet.
Really?
But remember, AI will never replace a human being.
How can a voice-over artist survive in the near future while AI ishakuja inaongea tu kila kitu chenye Mungu?
Sasa unajua nini, Dorcas? AI si mwanadamu.
Yes.
AI is a command. AI will never give you a Giriama accent the way you will do it natively. AI will never speak like an authentic human being.
Yes.
The way you are. It is programmed to go a different. It's programmed by a human being.
So don't you think the employers might do away with the human voiceover artist to go for AI because they think maybe, paying all those people, why can't I just do it AI? Because it is here to help us though.
That's true. There are, of course, those conversations happening. I, as an employer, because of my budget constraints, I'll want to do things a certain direction. But what we always have to remember, that there are places where a human touch is needed in every field. And let's talk about broadcast because we are here. There's always a human touch in conversation between man and man.
Yes.
There's a place I will never get.
Yes.
So for you as a practitioner, it's to get to understand, how do I become the best in my engagement with my fellow human being that AI can never get to. All right? And then upscale that skill. How do I better my conversation? If I'm a radio presenter, how do I become so good with my human connection with my audience where AI will never get to? You understand?
Yes, I understand.
And so that's why storytelling becomes a big deal in our industry. How can I tell my story so well that Dorcas will be inspired to a level that AI will never
Because
get
I've
to that
realized AI, actually the robot is not creative the way human is creative,
Yeah.
You feed it with information, it gives you the exact thing.
Yeah.
It keeps on just, refreshing and refreshing. It's not creative. The way you can script a drama to be acted, to be
Right.
performed, that's
Right.
not how AI will script the drama.
But remember,
for you.
AI will keep getting better because it's what we give it. It will keep getting better. But for us, and I think what our biggest tech should be, is a humanistic approach.
Okay.
How do I need to polish, upscale, get to a very beautiful level of humanistic engagement that AI can never get to? And that becomes your niche, that becomes your edge that you can always sell anywhere you go and how you do it. We never know what AI will be 20 years, 30 years.
To come.
But now that we are here, let's get the best out of us that the AI has never gotten to.
Yes.
All right? And allow it to run and get the best out of it. Yeah.
Thank
I in my work, by the way, I use a lot of AI.
Oh,
It has
nice.
facilitated. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of communication. So I do a lot of writing. So I can pick this and that and this, put it together. That was what I did. This is what I did. I need a beautiful format out of all these things
Wow.
that I have done. And probably I don't have so much time to be able to digest all that. AI gives me a format. Then I put my human mind into that and say, this is not human, this is AI. So how
But
do I...
again, there's a disclaimer that it is not that perfect,
Yes, so now you have to come back to it
Yes.
and put your mind into getting it to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it is a facilitator when you make it a facilitator. Yeah.
Not seeing it like a threat to.
Yes, and not also you can also decide I'm not thinking.
Okay.
It then becomes then you also become a cabbage and a zombie. You just do things. Please, AI, tell me how to eat a
Healthy.
mango from Maganyakulo.
And it tells you.
And it tells you Maganyakulo is a
exactly,
place
it
in...
defines first.
Yes.
Maganyakulo is this and is a name of this and this
Exactly.
and this.
And then if you want to eat a mango from Maganyakulo, mangoes from Maganyakulos look like this, This is how they, and then it will give you a solution. But then what does that do to you? You're not thinking.
You're not thinking. It kills
Yes.
your creativity, your
Exactly.
thinking capacity.
Yeah.
And you cannot even figure out anything that you want to do. You keep on asking and asking and asking.
That's true.
Well, that aside, what's your view on AI now that we have discussed much about it? I know this show isn't about AI only, but I would like to hear your views on this. I know you've been asking so many questions about AI and thinking it's a threat, maybe the way I was thinking too. So I would love to hear from you. Say something in the comment section. We are getting back to you. Okay.
Great.
Well, let's shift again.
All right.
Okay, another gear. Sijui ni gear namba ngapi, but
Hii
tukanyage
ni
tu.
saba.
Well, I know you've advised us, you've given us hope, and there's just a question that I've just remembered. Your schedule is very tight, very, very tight.
You think so?
I think so. No, it's very tight.
All right.
It's very tight. I haven't had issues in your marriage. Wajua bwana, hii Kenya vitu zikitokea utasikia
Zinalipuka.
Zinalipukanga tu, zinakufuata hata penye umeketi na umefunika, zitakufuata usikii. So mimi sijasikia any issue from your marriage.
Okay.
That means that you know how to balance your work, you know, in media, you're balancing the family. Hatujasikia riots.
Okay.
Sasa Ndiema ameachwa. Hatujasikia ama
waliachana. Wataachana tu.
Wataachana pana. Ishindwe hiyo.
Si ndio?
Ishindwe kabisa. So, how are you managing to balance family, you know, work,
right,
without kuegemea upande moja?
Yeah.
Kidogo family it is not just a family by name, but you are there present. You are present with them. How are you managing? How are you balancing?
Wow. You know, I always have to think about my children as parents.
Wow.
So I'm also a teacher. Myself and my wife, we teach in an institution called Raising Future Parents.
Time with them cannot be postponed. It cannot be limited. Our children need quality time, but they also need quantity. So much as we're giving them quality, the few hours you may be with them in a day, you have to think about quantity. And so it's even made us make some few adjustments career-wise, and we are grateful because we've seen their lives change. We've seen us build friendship with them just because of the quality and quantity of time we're having together.
Wow.
Yeah, so we teach about parenting. Mm-hmm. But before you teach about parenting, you have to do parenting the right way.
Yes, true.
So God has helped us, graced us. We are parenting coaches, and so we have had to really work with our children. We have 4 children.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 children. So that's a lot of work.
I can imagine.
And you want these children to make meaning, so that when they become parents, they also become good parents.
Good parents, yes.
All right? So we have been very deliberate about marriage and parenting. Because I think after I've done all these things and made money, and my children turn out to be children you cannot say, hawa ni watoto wa Ndiema, then I have lost it in life.
Kabisa.
That is more critical than any other things I keep doing in my life, than my career, it's actually my first ministry. So there's been a lot of deliberateness. My wife had to, and this is very controversial, my wife had to take a career break. It's now been 5 years to come and be home so that she supports me in parenting.
Wow.
And that meant that I had to run a bit more.
Yes.
To make the ends meet. And then we said, we actually had to clearly define and say, what do we want in this thing called family and marriage? And we came up with a very minimalistic understanding. We said, you know what? What we want is children who love God, children who confess Christ, and children who will have their values centered in the right place. That means you might not have as much money as you want, because much money also comes with you being away.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time.
Absent father,
yes,
absent husband.
Exactly. And we have had to drop a few things here and there. My wife took a huge sacrifice to be home, and it has paid. Now she's coming up back again.
Wow.
She's now doing, because there's a window. For children, there's a window. And the window is between 0 and 11. Some it's 13. So maximize that window very, very well. All right? So deliberateness, and God has a way of filling it in for you. Some people will never leave their work, but they have to still, there are ladies who will never leave work, but they will be deliberate in, I have to come home, I have to be there over the weekends, I have to be there when I need to be there and give quality. It's different things for different people. And even in our marriage, we have accountability. We have a group of 5 couples. We've been together since campus. We meet once every month. We've been meeting once every month for 14 years.
Wow.
And when we meet, to ask ourselves this question: how are you doing? It is black and white. Kama nimepigana na wife, nitasema mazee tunapigana. Okay. If I've seen a girl out there and she's confusing me, nitasema wase. So tuko pia na forum ya the guys.
Umekufia yule.
Nasema wase kuna dema huyu ataniangusha. And then the guys tell you ni nani.
Okay.
Tuende tupigane hiyo vita. Tunapigana hapa na tunapigana hapa.
Okay.
So that accountability has been very, very critical. And parenting has been very, very critical.
Wow.
And look forward to having watoto huko mbele. Whatever happens, we did our part. God does his part.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, the current generation.
Yeah.
You know, when they think about, not all, but some of us, or some of the audience, the part of the audience is mistaken a little bit. You find that when they think about getting into media, it's all about fame. And then you find somebody getting into media with the mission, but by the end of that person converts into something else. Anaacha kufanya chenye alikuwa anafanya vizuri. Now the person is all over, and now the focus has changed. Right. And you wonder what happened to this person. The reason why I came up with these questions, because you've maintained the path that you followed in media. I've always followed your shows. They're all related to something to do with religion, either faith-based or giving hope, either testimony and all that. Fame didn't destroy you. You didn't reach a point where you say, okay, now I'm there. Now I can divert. Let me do, something to do with 10 over 10. 10 over 10 sio mbaya. Mimi sijasema ni mbaya.
Iko tu na wase wake tu.
Iko tu na wase wake kabisa. Sijasema ni mbaya. Lakini sijai kukupata sasa wewe on Friday umeenda 10 over 10. Sasa Anthony Ndiema 10 over 10. What kept you to stay?
Probably I need to try.
I would like to see. Anthony kweli nitakuja ni confirm.
Yeah.
Yes. Could you please share with us
grounding,
how you are managing to maintain? Yes, please.
By the way, it is very interesting, and I'll give you this example. Look, think about this. Think of a lady who has come from the village, and she's beautiful, and she puts on rinda, probably she's a Corino.
Okay.
Let me use the example of a Corino, you know?
Corino tunawapenda sana.
Kabisa. I have many friends. So she's with her pleated skirts and her turban. And she looks beautiful. And the day Dorcas, you will find that lady in something that is different. Probably she has a very short mini, close to the size of a belt. Yeah. And then, quite a bit of her body is now out there. Whether you are a believer or not, you look at her and you'll say, no.
She's not the one.
This is not her. And naturally, there's something that you will lose.
Okay.
For her, and you'll think, no, I cannot associate with her because this is not the real person.
I knew before.
I knew. So the day Ndiema, na tumesema tu 10 over 10 iko na wase wake.
Tumesema iko na wase wake.
Utaniona tu hapo unasema wase wapi nduru. Let me tell you, whether sasa kwanza watu watanipiga mawe sana. Si hata watu wa church. Ni watu wa huko nje wanasema.
Wanajua wewe unafaa kama fulani.
Wewe ni mse wa church bana, usikamu huku. Huku si kwenu, So the fact that I have had, and it's two ways.
Okay.
One, it's what we call a brand. That's Hiyo ni kisingizio.
Hiyo ni kisingizio.
But the real deal is that there are values that I have been able to hold from the word go.
From the word go.
And those values are values that I have never forgotten. I got an opportunity to go to a secular radio station to do a breakfast. Good opportunity. I was getting 3 times my salary.
Yeah.
I couldn't, because how do I now start talking a different language to people I've been speaking to this language and now telling them a different language altogether?
Contradicting yourself.
And that's my conviction. There are the people who have different convictions and they say, Ndiema, we uko aje tunaishi duniani. That's fine. But I also have a constituent of people that I have been working with and mentoring. I want them to have a solid foundation and believe that you can be consistent and say this and mean it and walk it and maintain it.
Well,
but I also come from a village where I have been raised with my parents who have very strong beliefs and they raised me well.
Wewe lazima uende kanisani. Unatolewa na fimbo.
Yes,
Okay.
I also want to be to stick to that which I received as a foundation from the beginning. That has helped me not to change.
Wow.
There's a day I will go use a matatu. There's a day I will use a boda boda. There's a day I'll drive in a big car. And that does not change.
That does not change.
The real
You
person. There are days I will get millions. There are days I will have nothing.
ukipata millions mimi nitamtafuta. Nitamtafuta.
Na haibadilishi.
Mimi nitakutafuta kwa sababu najua
Sindio?
utabadilika. So
utataka nitakugawia tu.
Unigawie tu.
Lakini nitakupatia uende umultiply. Sitakugawia uende ukule.
Hapo kwa kumultiply tutaongea. Hapo kwa kumultiply
tutaongea hapo, si ndio?
Tutaongea hiyo. Now, this is your thing, you host shows, you present whatever you present. Hii ni mambo yako. Utatufungia show leo.
Okay.
Utatufungia
Lovely.
show.
Yeah.
Lakini kabla hujatufungia show, is there anything maybe you wish to say that maybe we might have forgotten the audience, or maybe you're passing a certain information to a certain group of people, maybe youths or those who want to join media, or a particular just group of people? Is there a message that you wish, a special message that you wish to pass across?
Yeah, it's my season now. I mean, that season. And this is for all of us. And that you'll allow me to ask you a question as well.
Okay. Isikuwe ngumu.
Siwezi.
Okay.
Sikuangi na maswali ngumu. Sijawahi kuwa na maswali ngumu.
Okay.
I think every time we live our lives, we have to think about our legacy. We have to think about our end. When you think about when it's all said and done and look back, what have you done?
Okay.
And what have you done does not go into the areas of I made so much money, I had empires. That's important and that's good. But then, what did I do to make it better for the kingdom and for virtues and principles and character? Who did I inspire in that direction? So every time you're able to answer that question, it gives you momentum to keep adding to that, that jig puzzle. Kidogo kidogo tu.
Fixing.
Today I need to do something.
Okay.
I need to do something better. So that when it's all said and done, I can look back and say, I
did it.
I lived a life beyond the money.
So
I lived a life.
When we say, not now, when that time comes and we say a life well lived, it will be worth.
Yes, it will be worth that story.
Not now.
No, it will come. But we have to think about it because it will finally come.
All right. Will you please wrap for us the show?
All right.
Kuru the audience, and then the team behind the production, the camera people.
All right.
And then unajua sasa hii show haijakuwa rahisi kwa sababu hii ni mambo yako. For me, you are like an assessor to me. So
really?
That's very true.
Sorry, I have a question as we finish. What do you want to be when you're 60?
When I'm 60.
What do you want to do when you're 60?
Hey, Mr. Ndiema. I will whisper to you. Wajua, where I come from, we believe that ukisema hautaifanya.
Okay.
So mimi nitakwambia. Mimi nitamwambia.
Kando, si ndio?
Kando ya nyuma ya tent.
I want to know exactly what you want to be, especially with what is happening on this set.
Okay.
Because that is very important to help you do things to us. But thank you, Dorcas, for even hosting me. I really appreciate. I've watched you before. You get very easy on the set.
Okay.
So thank you. Appreciate you. God bless you. I pray that your desires when it comes to media and your presentation and whatever it is will come to pass.
Amen. Masikia nimeombewa hiyo maombi makali. Hiyo ni maombi. Sasa mkibarikiwa itakuwa kwamba nilibarikiwa hapa kwa studio. I've been blessed already, and so thank you so much for staying tuned. Ni duty yake leo anatufungia show.
All right. So thank you very much for being with us today on Nuggets of Hope. I am your host, Dorcas, and of course my guest. Sema jina.
Okay, Ndiema.
Thank you. It was really nice talking to Ndiema, getting to, to hear his story, getting to draw wisdom from him. Thank you so much for making time to be with us, Ndiema. And we wish you a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your time.
Okay.
May the Lord do you well
Okay.
and continue growing you so that you can be a great inspiration to others.
Wow.
We want to remind you to, subscribe to our channel. And please follow us, put a comment right there. Let's get to engage. Let's get to know what you think about our show and our guest today. God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Baraka tele.
Nice. Thank you.